present for this fabulous night. We about to take flight. My squad is on fire and we going for the crown. Get down, get down. I've been waiting on this moment my entire life. We about to take flight.
Aaron Judge of the Bronx Bombers made a statement in the series opener last night, powered by a 5-run sixth inning. The Yankees have scored 5 or more runs in 16 innings this season, leading all of Major League Baseball. And now the Bombers hope to lock down a series victory in the second of a 3-game set. Let's set the stage. It is the Yankees and the Royals on a Wednesday night at Kauffman Stadium. And it's great to have you with us on the Yankees pregame on Prime. Bob Lorenz, Dylan Betances, and Jack Curry with you. Middle game of this 3-game series. Yankees win the opener 10-2. 16 hits in that one, Jack. And, baseball games are like puzzle pieces. Sometimes the pieces don't fit. You get that weird piece sometimes, but all the pieces fit last night for the Yanks.
All the pieces fit together so well, Bob, that manager Aaron Boone was giddy after the game. And I think a manager's mood is reflective of how the team is playing. Fried pitched so well last night. Aaron Judge hit another moonshot. Wells had 2 terrific at-bats. There were good vibrations everywhere you turned in Kansas City for the Yankees. So tonight, the Yankees are trying to make Boone smile again, whether it's the offense doing its job or Clark Schmidt doing his job. The Yankees trying to get another win.
Look for Clark Schmidt to continue the strong start he had in May, where he had 4 quality starts. Obviously, the Yankees are in a 16-game streak of games with no off days, so you need length from all your starters. So look for Clark Schmidt to go out there and deal.
We're going to do a little breakdown of Clark Schmidt coming up. Spins the ball a lot, so stay tuned for that. Now let's get out to Kansas City. Meredith Marakovich standing by with the Clubhouse Report. And Meredith, let's talk more about the offense last night, because it began with a very loud noise off the bat of Aaron Judge and his 24th home run that flew 469 feet to left field. And again, 2 more hits for Judge last night.
When you look at Judge's performance all season long, it's been beyond impressive. But when he gets a hold of one like he did last night, there aren't a lot of words to say about what you're witnessing. When I spoke to Austin Wells on the field after the game, Bob, I asked him about that very home run, and he simply said, "You are speechless when it happens." They've seen it a lot over the years, but still, when you're witnessing it in real time, you just don't know how to describe it. Also, Aaron Boone said after the game, he needs to be called up to the next level. He's done everything he can at this level, kind of joking around in that sense. But when you look at the distance on that 469 feet, it's the 3rd longest in Major League Baseball this year, the 7th longest in Aaron Judge's career. Now, Reggie Jackson is actually in Kansas City for this series, and I asked him about that home run, and he questioned that distance, Bob.
I was disappointed.
Why were you disappointed?
Because how could they call that 469 feet? I know what it's like to hit a 500-footer. And that was a 569-footer. I mean, so they got to get these technologies and all these analysts, you got to get them figuring out at the distance. It might have hit at 469. But when it came to the ground, it was going to be 5. I know what 500 feels like, see?
It looked, I don't think anybody would argue with you. That could have been 500, no doubt about it.
No doubt.
Hey, what's impressed you most about what he's done so far this season?
I'm just amazed. I heard somebody say yesterday that he's on pace to be the greatest right-hand hitter of all time. Now, that's amazing, Aaron. No, boy, that's a lot of guys. And Joe DiMaggio, just people that are, pretty unbelievable. But what Aaron is doing couldn't happen to a better guy. He's always a gentleman through everything that he does. He's a, great representative represents the face of the Yankees, and really the face of baseball right now. I like Ohtani. Ohtani's nice, but this guy's a two-way guy on the field, plays every day, and now he's conscious about making sure that he stays on the field. And he's just a special talent, puts people in the ballpark, gracious with the fans. Hey, he just needs to win a World Series. That's all.
What are some of the unique and innovative treatments
And I think Yankees fans would agree with that. Reggie, quite a talent in his own right. 563 career home runs for Mr. October. For Aaron Judge, that was his third home run in the last 2 games to go along with 7 RBIs. Now, they're going to face a tough lefty tonight in Chris Bubic. Now, Aaron Judge has handled him in the past, 4 for 7 with a home run and a double. But Bubic overall, when you look at his season, his 1.43 ERA is the best in all of Major League Baseball. And when you look at his last 6 starts, he's pitching to a sub-1 ERA. I asked Aaron Boone what makes Bubic such a challenge.
Dr. Hadley Wire.
I mean, he's having about as good a year as anyone in the league, and that's saying something. And obviously with our 2 lefties, Bubic is kind of having a similar year. Really tough on righties, too, and the riding fastball, unique delivery. So we'll have our work cut out for us tonight with a really hot pitcher.
For the Tastiest outfielder.
And there are no real surprises when it comes to the Yankees lineup tonight. Paul Goldschmidt is in there playing first base and leading off. Ben Rice back in there DHing. Jason Dominguez is the odd man out when it comes to that outfield. And Aaron Judge, of course, is in that lineup. He will bat third and play right field. Now, another slugger they could be getting back in that lineup relatively soon is Giancarlo Stanton. He was in action with the Somerset Patriots today in his 2nd consecutive rehab game. And starting that one off for the Patriots was Marcus Stroman on the mound. Stroman went 3 1/3 and threw 46 pitches in that one. Aaron Boone calling it a nice step for Stroman to get out there in his first rehab game. As for Stanton, 1 for 4 with a double and an RBI. Now, it's probably going to be a stretch for him to join the team this weekend in Boston, even though he hit so well at Fenway Park. But they're going to take it day by day. Aaron Boone saying they'll check in with him tomorrow. Tomorrow will most likely be an off day for Giancarlo Stanton. But when he does get back, guys, they are going to have some decisions to make as to how this roster is going to fit and how they're going to get everybody who is deserving at bats. I asked Aaron Boone what the plan is when Stanton gets back.
Join the Royals and Recycle Traps.
A lot of good players. It'll be tough decisions every day, trying to keep guys that are deserving of playing time playing regularly, but there's going to be some guys out of the lineup on a given day that should be in there or deserve to be in there, however you want to put it. And we'll just do the best we can to make sure we keep everyone sharp and keep everyone contributing. Could get Ben Rice behind the plate here and there. So we'll just try and piece it together best we can.
You heard Aaron Boone talking about perhaps seeing Ben Rice behind the plate for a full 9 innings. That's something that would be a challenge for him. He does get his work in every day. In fact, today he caught Carlos Rodon's bullpen, but being out there for a full 9 innings and being built up in that capacity, certainly something that comes over time. They do have a tremendous amount of confidence in his ability, so getting him back there, getting Ascara back there a little bit, it is going to be a jigsaw puzzle for Aaron Boone when Giancarlo Stanton gets back. And that doesn't even take into consideration the outfield. They've had a bit of a rotation going on out there, floating in DH days to kind of keep all those bats involved too. So they're definitely going to have some conversations. Now, one more note, Bob, before I send it back to you. And Dylan, I think you're going to like this one as a former back-end guy. Luke Weaver, through his first bullpen session since going on the injured list, Matt Blake told me it was 18 pitches, looked good, fastball between 90 and 92 miles an hour. They are extremely encouraged with where he's at right now and the fact that he was actually able to go out there and throw a true bullpen after that hamstring injury. When I spoke to Weaver yesterday, he told me he had the PRP. He was feeling much better, but there is still a plan and a process in place. They are hoping that it's going to be on the shorter end of the original time frame for the injured list, but it all just depends on how Luke Weaver responds. But we saw it last year here in Kansas City, and we've seen it throughout this season. Certainly an asset for the Yankees in the back end of the pen. They want him back as soon as possible.
Meredith, thank you. With that news, Dellin, I think, had a little bit of a thumbs up there and a smile on his face, knowing Luke Weaver might be back soon. So we'll talk more about that as the show goes on. We'll see you in just a bit with Justin Shackle and David Cohn. Time for our first break on the Yankees pregame. After an excellent start for Max Fried in the opener, it is Clark Schmidt's turn to take the mound for the Yankees, hoping to lead his team to a series victory. We're going to talk about Schmidt next on Prime.
In my blood, I got the game in me. Fire burning inside my heart, I got the flame in me. I need that #1 spot, so ain't no passing me. They told me I can never do a deal, audacity. Ready for the next, ready for the next. You wanna be the best, gotta be the best. Whoever wanna flex, they can get it next. So send them up, 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 send them up.
Good to have you back on the Yankees pregame on Prime. Look at Clark Schmidt's pitch breakdown this season. It's all about the movement for him. 45% usage on the cutter. Then comes the knuckle curve and the sweeper. After that, to a much lesser extent, sinkers, sliders, and four-seamers. Good to have you back on the pregame. Let's talk about this pitch profile because we know where a fastball's going, right? It's going pretty much right straight towards the plate. But a pitcher like Schmidt with that much movement, how much of a challenge is that keeping it around the plate?
When you have that much movement, you have to be fine with your pitches. You got to be able to locate your pitches well. You got to get that cutter into lefties, backdoor to lefties. And, you know, that's something that he's been able to do good. As you see in the month of May, he had 4 quality starts. So hopefully he can continue that path.
Dellin, I look at that description of all the pitches that Clark throws, and then I think of your career, and the one that stands out is the knuckle curve. So I would love to know how you gripped your knuckle curve and what made that pitch effective for you.
So knuckle curve for me, I would just kind of get around this 2-seam and try to wrap my middle finger around this, and I just try to go 12-6 and throw it as hard as I can. I think I seen Clark Schmidt kind of hold his similar. He's just more down on the seam. I was kind of more on the top right here. He's more down here, and what that pitch does is it has a lot of depth and late and heartbreak, and that's what Clark Schmidt's been able to do, and he's had a lot of swing and miss with that pitch. It's very effective.
In this day and age, we see pitchers, they're chasing velocity and they're chasing spin. You had 4 all-star seasons where you were getting a lot of spin. You were getting 2,800 RPMs with your knuckle curve. He's getting 3,100. So he is really gripping it and ripping it. What do you see in his pitch that differentiates it from when you threw your pitch?
Well, what you see with him, obviously, with that spin is just creating weak contact, getting swing and misses. He throws it a lot to lefties down and in. It's a very effective pitch, obviously, and the more it breaks, the later it breaks, the better it is for Clark Schmidt. He's been doing a great job. Hitters are hitting 130 off of that pitch, so he's been amazing with that pitch.
Now, did you ever lose confidence in the knuckle curve? Is it a pitch that you felt like you could grip and throw at any time, or were there times when you're like, man, this just isn't feeling right?
For me, feel is very important, especially with the spike curve. There was times that it will pop out too early, so I wanted to make sure I can rip it and get that pitch down and into lefties and to righties down and away. So it's definitely hard, but it's something I constantly try to grip as much as I can, so when I'm out there, the feel is just natural.
All right, when Jack and I are doing the pre and post games, all the time we're watching the games, and we do what a lot of people at home do, right? The pitcher throws the pitch and then immediately turns, looks at the scoreboard, right, Jack? And what is he looking at? He's looking at a lot more than just speed.
Yeah, he wants to know the velocity, like Bob said, but he wants to know the spin that we were just talking about. That really wasn't in stadiums when you were still playing, but do you think you would be turning and saying, okay, I got 2880 on that one, can I get 2900? And if you do that, how does that impact you as a pitcher? What are the pluses? What are the potential minuses?
So for me, obviously, we didn't have that when I play. I looked at how hard I was throwing. So if it was 97, I'm like, oh, maybe my fastball doesn't have the giddy up. If it was higher than that, I know I can go back to that. Nowadays, obviously, with spin rate and a lot of the vertical break, guys are looking back and trying to see. At times, it could get you in trouble, right? Like if you see your pitch, Clark Smith, 3,100 natural, right? If he goes 2,800, maybe he's trying to do more and maybe gets to the side of it. So at times it could get you in trouble. I felt like with me, if I was throwing 100, right, and now I'm trying to throw 102, now I don't know where the pitch is going, and that's something that could definitely get you in trouble.
Is that kind of like remembering to sometimes put the analytics aside and let the human part come in and say, all right, I'm not spinning it as much as I usually do, but I'm missing bats, I'm getting outs, and you have to remember that part of it too, right?
Yeah, as long as you get in weak contact and swing and misses, that's what matters. All the other stuff is good to work on bullpens and side days. But when you're in the game, you want to get guys out. That's the name of the game. And for him, he's done a great job at it and continue to do so.
I'm being told, by the way, Jack, that this entire segment is 106. We hit 106. What do you think about that? Pretty good, right?
Take it. We'll take it. I've got to ask you one more, though. The way the ball felt out of your hand versus the batter's swing, what were you taking more information out of? If you had a batter that just looked befuddled and puzzled, are you saying that's my best knuckle curve, or was more important the way it felt coming out of your hand?
If the guy looked bad, I'm going to try to make him look a lot worse the next pitch. But obviously, I try to go off some of the scouting report. But if he's showing me he can't hit it, I'm going to try to throw as much as I can.
All right, we got to take a quick step aside here on the Yankees pregame. We'll take a look at the lineups and discuss how the Yankees offense can follow up its 10-run performance in last night's series opener. Stick with us right here on Prime. Back on the Yankees pregame on Prime, and look who's in the cage, the manager, Aaron Boone. And if that's your manager, Dylan, you watching the BP?
I'm definitely watching. I want to see how much he can hit it off the bat.
Well, he got a little bit off the bat, Jack, but that was a ground ball. Let's see if he can elevate. Where's that swing? There's the swing pass.
You know what's funny is I feel like he's imitating somebody. I just can't figure out who. I don't think that was Boone's swing right there. I think he's impersonating somebody.
Well, speaking of swings, let's take a look at the Yankees lineup that'll face Chris Bubic tonight. Goldschmidt, Rice, Judge, and Bellinger are the top four for a team that went 6 for 16 with runners in scoring position in the opener in that win. 6 Yankees had multi-hit games. Dominguez had 3. Judge had 2 as Jack Judge keeps doing his thing. 24th home run last night.
Never missed the beginning of a movie, Bob. Never missed the beginning of a show. Never missed the first inning of a Yankee game. Judge has 10 home runs in the first inning this year. He actually has home runs in the last 2 games. No Yankee has ever had a home run in the first inning of 3 straight games. So maybe we'll see some history tonight, and it'll be interesting to see Dallin how he does against Bubic. He's 4 for 7 in his career against Bubic, but as you know, Bubic has improved. He's made some changes.
Well, Judge hits everybody well, right? But Bubic last year got moved to the bullpen and excelled. He found out that he can just attack the strike zone and get guys out, which he's doing tremendously well this year. He has the best ERA in, I think, all of MLB. Guy that has a unique delivery, riding fastball with a new kick change that he added to his arsenal this year, and a sweeper. So with that mix, keeps guys off balance.
Yeah, Bubic's last 6 starts allowed just a total of 4 earned runs. Now let's take a look at the Royals lineup that is going out there to try to back him up. They went 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position in the opener. Salvador Perez had 2 hits in the opener. Same top 5 for the Royals, and Vinny Pasquantino extended his hitting streak to 10 games. We will take one final break here on the Yankees pregame. We're going to wrap things up as we inch our way closer to first pitch between the Yanks and the Royals, so keep it here. Get you out to KC in just a moment for Game 2. Clark Schmidt, Dellin trying to get him going in the right direction tonight.
Yeah, look for him to go 6 like he did last time he was able to take the game into the 6th innings after that rough first inning.
Of course, he's going to talk about pitching, so I got to give the offense a little love. If you're the Yankees, you want to punch first. When they score first this season, guys, they're 30-11. Try and make Bubic feel uncomfortable the same way they did against the Royals last night.
And you're talking about those Judge at-bats against him, 4 for 7, right? So a little small sample, but a nice sample.
We got to get down to your office, Bob. We got to watch the first inning. We got to see what Judge does.
Let's find out what's happening. It's coming up next on Prime. It is Clark Schmidt taking the ball for the Yanks in Game 2 against the Royals. Justin Shackle, David Cohn with a call. Meredith Marakovich reporting. We'll see you on Yes for complete post-game coverage right after the game's over. Enjoy it.
Not all home runs are created equal. They may all count the same, but there is something special about those long, majestic blasts that leave everyone watching, marveling in awe. Last night, Aaron Judge hit one of those shots, a swing that will be on his highlight reel for a long, long time.
Did you see it land? My goodness.
469 feet, almost out of the stadium. The Judge bomb started the game off with a bang, and the Yankees never looked back. Austin Wells tied a career high with 5 RBIs, and they cruised to a series-opening win here in KC. Tonight, Game 2 gets underway with Clark Schmidt on the mound, and the captain looking to put on another power show. It's the Yankees and the Royals coming up next on Prime.
A productive night all around the diamond for the Yankees led to a big-time victory in the series opener at Kauffman Stadium last night. Jazz Chisholm in the middle of it. Hey, who says he doesn't have fans here in Kansas City? Despite the boos, Jazz welcoming Yankee Royal fans alike as we welcome you to Yankees Baseball on Prime. It's the middle game of this 3-game set between the Yankees and the Royals from Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri. Hi again, everybody. Welcome into Yankees Baseball on Prime along with David Cohn. I'm Justin Shackle. Yankees took the series opener 10-2 last night. They received terrific starting pitching from Max Fried, a big bomb from Aaron Judge. And, oh, yeah, their number 9 hitter was pretty productive, too, David. Austin Wells, 5 RBIs.
Yeah, it seems almost unfair, right? Aaron Judge hits one almost out of the stadium, and then Austin Wells with a long, tough at-bat, resulting in that 3-run home run into the bullpen. And then for extra measure, later in the game, another long, adventurous at-bat results in that double down the line. Austin Wells doing damage once again.
And he ranks among the top 5 in home runs, extra base hits, runs batted in, and slugging percentage among major league catchers. He now has a pair of 5 RBI games. First Yankee catcher to do that in a single season since Gary Sanchez in 2017. And what do you know? Austin Wells will be back in the 9th spot here tonight as he and the Yankees go up against one of the better pitchers in the American League, David. It is the ERA leader in Kansas City, lefty Kris Bubic.
Yeah, there's more than meets the eye with Kris Bubic. When you think about guys who lead the league in ERA, you think, okay, this guy throws heat, right? He throws in the upper 90s. No, he doesn't. He throws in the low 90s. He's a pitcher in every sense of the word. All kinds of deception, too, in that delivery. A riding fastball, a really good slider, sweeper, and a good, also excellent changeup off of that.
At 1.43 ERA leads the American League, but the Royals are only 7-5 in Bubic's 12 starts. He's received 2 runs of support or fewer in 8 of his 12 outings this season. Well, Aaron Judge didn't go into the Royals Hall of Fame last night. He went over it. A majestic blast, 469 feet to get the scoring started. What were the Yankees saying about Judge's big bomb? Our Meredith Marakovitz fills us in next.
Welcome back to Kauffman Stadium for Yankees Baseball on Prime. Game 2 of the 3-game series between the Yankees and the Kansas City Royals is set to get underway in just a couple of minutes. Hey everyone, I'm Meredith Marakovitz. Aaron Judge blasted a 469-foot home run to left field in the first inning of last night's game. It is the 3rd longest home run in Major League Baseball this season, 7th longest for Aaron Judge in his career. And after a majestic shot like that, it is no surprise that his manager and teammates were talking about it after the game.
I made sure to jump up and get to a good spot where I could really watch it. Like, I was under control, poised. I had to make sure I had a good view of it. That was evaporated.
You know, once you do something like that, it's, you know, you can enjoy it for a second, but you know, it's the moment's over. You got to get on to the next thing.
Not a lot of words. That's one of the furthest balls I've ever seen hit today. So that was really cool, and what a way to start that game off.
You really don't feel it. You really don't feel it. So it just kind of jumps off the bat, and you just kind of start running.
He keeps impressing me. You know, being able to watch him every day is a treat, and you know, it's probably one of the. I've only seen a couple of games here, but it's definitely the farthest ball I've seen hit here, for sure.
You watch it for a second to make sure it's going out of the park, and then you start your stroll, man. try not to watch it too much.
Reggie Jackson is actually here in Kansas City. I asked him about that home run last night, and he said 469 feet. He does not believe it. He said he knows a little something about blasting one 500, and he thought maybe they should remeasure that one. Plenty more to come here on Prime. When we get back, Justin Shackle will be joined by David Cohn. First pitch coming your way after the break.
Welcome back to Kauffman Stadium. Yankees and Royals moments away from getting started. The middle game of this three-game set. The Yankees entering at 40-25. Third best mark in the majors as we take a look at their starting lineup. Paul Goldschmidt back in the leadoff spot. Ben Rice DHing and Aaron Judge back in right field. Cody Bellinger in the cleanup spot. Then it's Chisholm Jr., Volpe, Grisham, LeMahieu, and Austin Wells off a 5 RBI night, batting ninth against the ERA leader along the major leagues. It is lefty Chris Bubic.
Yeah, and those numbers are really something to look at, especially only 3 home runs given up. So we'll see how that goes tonight for him.
Tall 6'3" right-hander as we take a look at his scouting report.
Yeah, we'll give you a little bit more here. You know, the deceptive righting fastball is really based on a lower release point and great backspin, that sort of induced vertical break that makes his fastball play up. He was the May pitcher of the month, and we saw those numbers. And they skipped his last start, so that's why he's on 9 days rest here today. It's kind of to manage his workload a little bit.
Let's take a look at the Royals defense behind Chris Bubic. Left to right in the outfield, Drew Waters, Kyle Isbell, John Rave in right. Jack Caglione, his first big league start at his natural position of first base. Jonathan India, Bobby Witt Jr., Michael Garcia at third. Salvador Perez doing the catching for Chris Bubic. California native. Lance Barrett calling balls and strikes as we take a look at the umpire's scouting report. Pitcher friendly. We like to see red.
Absolutely.
More outside strikes on right-handers, more low strikes on lefties. His 16th season in the big leagues. Tell you what, overcast skies. It's feeling more and more like Kansas City in mid-June, right, David?
It's starting to get soupy. Yes, a little bit. Can get some humidity here, but the wind's blowing out at 14 miles an hour, so fly balls should carry here tonight.
So Paul Goldschmidt will lead it off here. Yankees going for the series win, and a victory would get them back to 16 games above 500. Goldschmidt in the batter's box, and Chris Bubic, the lefty for the Royals, ready to go. Time to play from Kauffman Stadium. And a swing and a miss for strike one. We're underway. Bubic again 5-3, a 1.43 ERA in 12 starts. He has held righties to a 187 batting average in 2025. Spent all of 2024 as a reliever, but he returned to the Royals starting rotation to begin this season's for the first time since undergoing Tommy John surgery. After he made only 3 starts in 2023, that injury derailed that season. You mentioned he's on 9 days rest. This is the big question here for the Royals, because as well as Bubic has done here, how many innings can the Royals really expect him to throw this season? Swing and a miss. Let's take a look at the keys to the game, David.
Well, we talked about Bubic keeping it in the yard. Only 3 home runs allowed. This Yankee lineup we know can go deep, and the wind is blowing out, so something's got to give. Urseg, power reliever, is now back for the Royals. He could impact this game late. And of course, we all know about Jazz and Garcia and this ongoing beef that was kind of reignited last night. Something to keep an eye on.
The 2 third basemen with history dating back to the division series last year. Jazz took exception to the tag, I guess that wasn't, from Michael Garcia because he didn't have the baseball last night in a stolen base at third. Forced Jazz to lead the game. Hard grounder to India at second. 2 away. And Jazz Chisholm Jr. essentially saying after the game, every time something comes up here, there's Michael Garcia.
Yeah, there's always a history, right? And when there's an underlying boil simmering, that anything can reignite it quickly. I don't think there's any love lost between either one of those guys for each other.
All right, so here's Judge. Had a big blast in the first inning off Noah Cameron last night. And he swings and misses a four-seamer to get his night started against Bubic. Here you see what he's been able to do in the first inning here this season. 10 homers just in the first inning. Against Bubic, Judge 4 for 7 with a home run. Bubic ahead 0-2. And he fouls it off. You know, in this day and age, it's tough to sometimes believe how modest Aaron Judge is about his own performances, but he really did swing out a tape measure shot and just put his head down and run the bases. He said he didn't even really look at it. They appeal, he went around. So Chris Bubic gets Aaron Judge and retires the side in order on 10 pitches. Yankees down, Royals coming up to hit for the first time tonight. Yankees failed to score off Bubic in the top of the first. Let's take a look at the Royals lineup here in the middle game tonight. Jonathan India leading off, playing second base. Then it's Bobby Witt Jr., Maikel Garcia, Vinny Pasquantino doing the DHing. Salvador Perez, the catcher, hits fifth. Jack Caglione is batting sixth. Then it's Waters, Rave, and Isbell rounding out the starting lineup for the Royals. And they'll be facing Clark Schmidt.
Clark Schmidt towing the slab for the 10th time this year here at the K. You see rounding out the numbers, 21 walks, 50 strikeouts, and a little bit more in our scouting report. Get out of the gates for him, and if you get off to a good start, it's really about him establishing that cutter for strikes. When we've seen him struggle, you know, it moves so much sometimes it's hard for him to get it in the zone early in the game. That's a key, and that's how you get through 6 innings.
David, you say Gates in Kansas City, and I'm thinking barbecue, man.
That's right.
Schmidt ready to go against India, who homered in last night's loss for Kansas City. Another loss tonight, it would drop them to 500 for the first time since April 29th. Now Schmidt against Cleveland in his last start, the first 3 batters he faced, they all came to score in the first inning. But after that, made the necessary adjustments, kept the Yankees in the game. They didn't win, but it was good to see those adjustments from Clark Schmidt.
And he's really leaned into that cut fastball. He kind of leads with that one. Very few two-seamers his last time out. It's a question of finding one you can throw for strikes. You know, sometimes it's hard to bounce back and forth with grips early in the game. I used to talk to Mel Stoudemire about that. Establish one fastball first, and then mix in the next one. It's a tough adjustment right there, case in point. Two-seamer way in, cutter way away. You know, lock it in and establish it early.
Three and one to India. Misses the corner and a leadoff walk. Let's take a look at the Yankees defense behind Clark Schmidt. Bellinger, Grisham, Judge left to right in the outfield. Goldschmidt at first, LeMahieu at second, Chisholm Jr. at third, Volpe at short, Austin Wells doing the catching for the 27-year-old, the 29-year-old rather, Clark Schmidt, trying to pick up his 3rd win of the season. He'll face Bobby Witt Jr. with a runner on. Witt went 1 for 3 last night. He's been extremely productive against the Yankees in his young career. 28 hits now in 21 games.
See Bobby Witt Jr. there in that career, to your point, Justin. Really hasn't had that good hot streak that he's known for. He's an MVP caliber player. His numbers are good, but He was in the MVP race last year. Gave Aaron Judge a run for the money.
One of baseball's young superstars. Schmidt ahead 0-2 on him. Did he get him to go? No, he did not. He has an 8-game hit streak going right now. So while the numbers aren't maybe out of this world, Bobby Witt Jr. caliber, they're absolutely above average. One, two. Schmidt trying to stay on that outside edge against Witt.
Yeah, a rare straight four-seam fastball from Clark Schmidt right there. Tried to paint, just missed.
Misses again, count full. Big gap down the left field line with Bellinger shaded over toward left center. India off of first. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Got it to go on the sweeper. Witt down on strikes.
You know, Clark Schmidt gets such good spin on his sweeper that you see Bobby Witt bail. He reads fastball right now. Watch him jelly leg a little bit. You see him hesitate there. Did not pick up the spin. That's how that allows Clark Schmidt to get away with one right in the middle of the plate because it still broke sharply.
1 on, 1 out for Michael Garcia. Went 0 for 3 last night, enjoying a breakout season. .25 years of age, hitting third for the Royals in his 4th big league season. And he taps it toward the right side. Goldschmidt's going to go to second for 1. There'll be no play at first base, so they get the force.
Well, just well done by a really good first baseman. You know, no panic. I got this. Right on the money. Creates that angle. Goldschmidt is a lot better than I thought he was at first base. I knew he was good. I knew he had some gold in his background, but he does everything well.
He has been such a huge lift for the Yankees at first base this season. Here's Vinny Pasquantino. Cleaning up for the Royals tonight. Has a 10-game hit streak going. And he has been on fire since the start of May. A slow start. A lot of people thought when the Royals were going really cold on offense, this was one of the main reasons. Turns out just the entire team's been pretty inconsistent, and that's despite Pasquantino now heating up. Here you see what he's been able to do over the last 22 games. He's reached base in 25 straight. Swats this foul.
A very popular player here. Talked about his nickname, Sasquatch. They've got a big Sasquatch that runs up there about where Aaron Judge hit that home run now and then. When he's waiting. He'll peek out.
There he is. Throw back to first is close. Looks like they're calling a balk, David.
Yeah, it looked like Clark Schmidt didn't step. He's kind of, you know, he's really quick with his feet, but you have to step and throw to first, and I think that's probably what they're getting him on with his feet. Watch his feet. It's more of a hop. You see immediately home plate umpire calls it. It's more of a jump and a twist. You've got to kind of step to first, technically speaking.
You have to move in that direction. You can't just sort of pivot, leave the ground.
Yeah, you just can't jump up and throw over there. It's subject to an interpretation there. There was a couple of them where he was quick with his feet, but didn't exactly step over directly to first.
This is rolled over to first. Goldschmidt. Schmidt takes care of the rest. And the side retired. Royals strand a runner. We go to the second, still scoreless. Time for Pinstripe Pride, brought to you by Toyota, the official hybrid vehicles of the Yankees. And tonight's picture is from Teresa, who was here in Kansas City last night with the rest of her family to root on the Yankees in the series opener. You could use the hashtag Toyota Pinstripe Pride and post your picture to social media to reflect your love for the Yankees, and we might spotlight you in a future game. A lot of Yankee fans here at Kauffman Stadium making the trip. Also just fans in the area. Bellinger cracks it deep into right center field. Rave on the run, and it'll bounce off the base of the wall. Bellinger rolling into second. Now a wide turn, heading for third. There'll be no throw. Sliding in safely with a leadoff triple. Cody Bellinger. And the Yankees get the first batter of the inning against Bubic right into scoring position.
Well, this is the type of ballpark that can yield a lot of triples if you bust it out of the box, but a little bit of help here because there's an overthrow of the cutoff man. If you hit the first cutoff man, you might have had to play at third, but good job by Bellinger to take that chance.
Great speed. Third triple rather for Cody Bellinger this season. Here's Jazz Chisholm Jr. said he'd be in the lineup after exiting last night's game with a stiff neck. Here he is. Had a double and a stolen base. Royals play the infield in.
I grew up watching the Royals play in this ballpark and watched Hal McRae and George Brett hit doubles and triples galore by busting it out of the box and understanding their ballpark.
It's a track meet for outfielders. Already matching his total from 2024. That was career hit number 1001 for Cody Bellinger. Look at him bust out of the box, Dave.
You got to know right away. You know where you're playing. You're seeing it. And right there you make the decision. Okay, here I go.
Bounced foul. Well, Bubic faced the Yankees on April 16th in the Bronx. He allowed a season-high 7 hits and 4 walks in a no decision, and what ultimately panned out to be a Yankee win. This is dribbled up the third base line, and it'll roll foul.
Bubic has always kind of had reverse splits, almost tougher on right-handed batters than lefties, generally speaking.
And it's even more extreme this season. Righties are hitting just 187 off of him here. Lefties 232 heading into tonight. Doesn't get the call. And the count full.
Ooh, caught a break right here. Most of the pitches that are missed are at the top of the zone nowadays because catchers are so good at framing the low pitch. Mainly stylistically speaking. Dropping the glove to the ground, bringing it up. As you see those splits we were talking about. Including damage, the OPS.
Entered tonight first in the league in ERA, 6th in opponent's batting average. Payoff. Way outside, it's ball 4. Chisholm draws the walk. And the first 2 have reached. Yankees have runners at the corners. Here's Volpe. 2 for 5 with a double last night. He's hit lefties well this season to the tune of a .319 average. Yankees trying to cash in with Bellinger at third. Chisholm with speed at first base. If I were to tell you, name the Yankee with the most doubles, who would you pick?
Wow. I mean, you got to start with Mickey Mantle for everything.
Well, for this year.
Thinking about the Mick.
Yeah.
This year, wow. Is it Volpe?
It is.
Yeah. Makes sense.
19 doubles so far.
I got Yankee history on my mind today. I don't know. Aaron Judge, Babe Ruth, Mickey.
Reggie in the building.
Reggie's around, so.
Reggie Jackson was hanging out in his suite last night with George Brett. High chopper. Witt goes to second for one. Throw to first. Not in time. Bellinger will score from third as Volpe beats it out. And the Yankees have taken a 1-0 lead on Bubic and the Royals.
Well, the difference between getting an RBI or no RBI, you do it with your wheels and watch where he hits the bag. Oh, man, that's really good base running. As you see, we know he can run. He knows it's coming. That's where you land, right on the front of the bag. That saved him. The last couple of steps, just well done.
So Volpe with his speed puts the Yankees up 1-0. Here's Trent Grisham. Reached base 3 times last night. Yankees are trying to become just the 3rd team in baseball to have 20 road wins. Entered tonight at 19-13. Played really well on the road. And they played really well at Kauffman Stadium in recent history. Over the last decade, against the Royals, 18-2 in 21 regular season series. Swinging on 2-0. Here's a look at the best records this season so far. Tigers and Mets in action at the moment as well. About the Giants team.
Yes.
Won 6 in a row, just a half game behind the Dodgers.
They can pitch. The Cubs are a fun team to watch too this year. They can score some runs.
Yankees and Cubs will go at it just before the All-Star break in the Bronx. Lifted foul by Grisham. That's going to be a fun series with the way the 2 teams are playing.
Turns out Buster Posey's pretty good at, evaluating baseball, right? Right to the front office and a Hall of Fame career as a catcher.
Two. Broken bat, little roller. Caglione flips to Bubic, gets his foot on the bag. And moving up to second goes Anthony Volpe.
Let's see if he got the bag or not. If they're going to challenge it, we'll get another look here. Let's see, Caglione takes a look at second and then flips it over here. You got to multitask as a pitcher. Oh, was he there? Did he or didn't he? He missed it the first time, then he goes to get it. And yes, he did.
Just slid it over.
A little dubstep over there, first base.
It's a 2 away. Runner at second. Here's the hot DJ LeMahieu. Reached base 4 times last night, including a pair of hits.
Yeah, all of a sudden, 277, 765 on the OPS.
Showed off some range at second base as well. If the Yankees can get this type of production from DJ LeMahieu at a consistent clip, it's one less piece that they probably have to go searching for.
It's huge, especially when you think about the production at second and short so far this year. When Chisholm was out, especially. The value of a league average or a little bit better offensively is very underrated.
Didn't come close. LeMahieu draws a walk. And what you said right there, that makes the world of the difference. Just performing at league average, it lengthens the lineup.
It does. It's the black holes, you know, when you have just way below plummeting production at any one position that really just stands out. The Yankees have so much more balance in their lineup this year. They can run lineups out that are every hitter is above league average at this point.
Also helps when you have your number 9 hitter hitting home runs like this. Austin Wells, a terrific night in terms of seeing pitches, but also producing results. 3-run homer, 2-run double. He saw 28 pitches out of the 9th spot in yesterday's opener.
Very confident looking hitter in the batter's box right now.
Yanks up 1-0 with 2 outs, 2 on. Aaron Boone saying before the game he loves Wells up there in these big spots, and even when they give him a tough matchup here, look, it's lefty on lefty. You have Chris Bubich off to a terrific season, a start that is, but he loves how Wells has strung it together, because when he's on, he really lengthens the lineup.
Been really good against left-handed pitchers lately too. I know Meredith just showed me a note. Of course, Meredith's all over everything. I mean, I go to Meredith for everything. 348 batting average.
She has a full-length yellow memo pad just littered with ink.
Since May 6th.
This is lined into right center field. It's a base hit. It's going to score at least 1 run. Cutting it off is Isbell. Volpe scores. LeMahieu gets the stop sign at third as Austin Wells continues to produce in KC. An RBI double, and it's 2-0 Yankees.
Right on cue. His excellence against lefty on lefty showing up again. Just a bullet towards the gap. And this is so important when you're facing somebody like Chris Bubich on the mound, who's been so good, so hard to score off of this year. After last night's game, the Yankees right back on top, putting pressure on.
Pitch number 27 of the inning on the way to Paul Goldschmidt. LeMahieu at third, Wells at second. Goldschmidt has been unconscious with runners in scoring position this season, hitting .371.
Also a lefty masher as well.
Swatted into right field, base hit for Goldschmidt. LeMahieu scores. Wells gets the wave around. Hill sliding scoring. Yankees cooking with 2 outs here against Bubich. A 2-run single for Goldschmidt. They're up 4-0. They're telling Chris Bubich where he could take his leading ERA, David.
Yeah, this is what you call regressing to the mean, right? Maybe he was a little over his skis with that really low ERA, and it happens to all of us. A really good base running. Great jump on the back end here. That's the catcher scoring there.
Goldschmidt took second on the throw home. Here's Ben Rice with another runner in scoring position. Last night, the Yankees went 6 for 16 with runners in scoring position. Lifted into left field, another base hit for the Yankees. Here comes Goldschmidt. There'll be no throw. RBI single, Ben Rice. Yankees putting up a 5-spot so far here in the second, and they're not done yet. Here comes Aaron Judge.
Well, there's certainly a good scouting report by the Yankees in terms of taking advantage on the base pass, but Ben Rice once again just laces out a hard hit ball to left. Finally gets rewarded. One of the most unlucky hitters, I think, in the big leagues has been Rice. That consistent hard contact gets rewarded this time.
Judge swings and misses. He struck out last inning against Bubic. You know, we talked about it last night with Rice, Grisham. Maybe the numbers on the surface, they've gone down, but they are continuing to make hard contact.
Yeah, they've been tough on him compared to the rest of the league. If you take his Yankees numbers away, where would his numbers be?
Throwing a lot of pitches this inning. Misses and is now behind 2-1 to Judge.
Good scout report on the Yankees, too, knowing you can run on these Royals outfielders' arms.
They have not held back.
Drew Waters didn't even attempt to throw to home on that to cut down Goldschmidt. John Ravid, right. Not a great effort either, so they know that.
Let's see if Bubic gives Judge anything to hit here on 3-1. There's ball 4. So the Yankees, for a second night in a row, will bat around against this Royals pitching staff.
Kind of see Matt Quattaro's going to the bullpen phone, it seems. You're going to scramble down there. That's a call you definitely don't want to make in the second inning with your best pitcher on the mound. Frustration sets in.
And trouble for the Royals is mounting here. Again, they came into tonight 10-17 in their last 27. They're only a game above 500, and they had to put Cole Reagans, their star pitcher from a year ago, on the IL yet again this season with left rotator cuff issues. He has a strain there. That's the second time he's hit the IL already. Bellinger triple to start off the inning. 5-0 Yankees. Rice is at second, Judge is at first. You see the right-hander Jonathan Bolin added to the roster today. The Royals also activated Lucas Ursek from the injured list. They designated Trevor Richards for assignment. 1-1.
There's nothing really about his stuff that's standing out tonight. You know, the velocity, you know, we talked about him pitching on 9 days rest. He skipped his last start. It's just the Yankee lineup.
Runners go. Pitches in there for a strike. Double steal for Rice and Judge.
Did not see that one coming. Neither did Bubic.
Everything unraveling for Bubic as this is tacked back up the middle. Witt from behind second base gets Bellinger out, and the bleeding is over for Bubic, but the Yankees putting up a 5-spot on the league's ERA leader, beginning with a Bellinger triple. Austin Wells continuing to produce from the 9th spot. How about Paul Goldschmidt getting into the mix? The Yankees crushing here at Kauffman, up 5-zip.
I just feel like every time we have a problem, It's always been him. You know what I mean? Like, that's the only reason I was so frustrated. And then to even see that he didn't even have the ball for the way that he tagged me is just, I didn't like it. You know what I mean? So just frustrated, you know. That's it.
Jazz Chisholm Jr. talking about Kansas City third baseman Michael Garcia. This all stems back from the division series last year, where Jazz said the Royals got lucky after taking Game 2 at the stadium. And there was a collision between Garcia and Volpe at second base that Jazz took exception to. The bench is cleared. He called Garcia a sore loser. And perhaps the tension bubbling at third base last night.
There's always a history. And ball players never forget.
Well, not only at third base, but when he stepped up to the plate for the first time, he was greeted by this stadium crowd here at Ed Kaufman with some boos. And he was asked about that after the game. He said, hey, I'm not at home, so I'd rather walk up to a little something instead of it being silent. I liked the noise. I feel like when you're on the road, hitters come up there and there's nothing going on. It's just kind of like, blah, boo me. Go ahead, boo me. Give me some music to walk out to at least. So, as we know, Jazz is a personality, and he seems to be embracing the villain role.
Who said it best? They don't boo nobodies, right?
There you go.
Well, Meredith's a gamer. I mean, that foul ball was right to the right of her head.
4 feet.
She didn't even flinch. It finished her point.
Could have gone very poorly.
That was impressive. I'm sorry.
It takes years and years of experience.
Impressive.
I mean, completely unfazed.
But she did not miss a beat.
It hit the window panel closest to you, right?
There's seam marks on it, yeah. But you would have had my back.
I was late.
If it was coming in here, right?
I was a little late to react myself. But yeah, I'd jump in front of a bus for you, Meredith.
Aw. Isn't he the sweetest? Thanks, David.
Clark Schmidt trying to produce an easy inning after the Yankees put up 5 runs on Bubic. And he is able to strike out Salvador Perez for out number 1. Let's go back to the 2024 American League Division Series. Here's that play at second. Jazz felt that Garcia slid into Volpe a little bit too hard. I don't know, my favorite part was Volpe shooing Garcia away with his glove. Ball players don't forget.
Never.
Here's Jack Caglione. Made his home debut last night, and he's behind 0-2 here. So what I learned here, David, Jack is not Jack's actual first name. It comes from the initials of his full name as he strikes out here. Good knuckle curve from Schmidt. Full name's Jeffrey Allen Caglione. That's where you get Jack from. He's getting a seat on the bench after Schmidt strikes him out. 2 away. Here's Drew Waters, switch hitting left fielder, who sends the first pitch he sees into shallow right center field. Coming on, Grisham. Did he make the catch? No, he did not. Alfonso Marquez said the ball dropped. Grisham contends that he did make the catch. And the Yankees are going to challenge this. They say he caught it.
Yeah, Grisham's just running to the dugout. That's how you sell it. Watch this. We'll get a look.
Oh, he caught it, David.
Yes, he did.
New Yorkers challenging the call of no catch.
So this should be overturned. And it would mark a very nice 1-2-3 inning for Clark Schmidt. Clark's saying, hey, hold up.
Yeah.
And Trent's like, no, we're good, dude.
Just ran to the dugout. He's like, just ran to the dugout. I got it. Yes, he did.
Definitely a catch. excellent range. You talk about the outfield and the expansive real estate out there so far these last 2 nights. Grisham covering a lot of ground to get to that ball. So again, ruled
After
a
review, the
single.
call is overturned. It is a catch, and New York will retain their challenge.
And a beautiful catch at that by that man, Trent Grisham. And the Yankees retire the side in order. Calling all superheroes, we need you for Play Ball Weekend. Your mission is to step up to the plate, whether at your favorite ballpark or in your own backyard. Register for an event with your local team or play on your own. Learn more at playball.org/weekend. And June 13th to the 15th. Well, the Yankees have tagged Chris Bubic for a season-high 5 runs already. There are those aforementioned boos that Meredith was referring to for Jazz Chisholm Jr. David Bubic threw 41 pitches in that second inning. He walked Jazz.
The command was off. 21 strikes and 20 balls out of those 41 pitches in that last inning. And that's what this Yankee lineup does to you. I mean, the Yankee lineup right here tonight is probably as deep as it's been all year because of the emergence of DJ LeMahieu and the health of this guy hitting. Jazz Chisholm now back. They're at full strength now.
Chop to first. An easy put out for Caglione. 1 away. Here's Anthony Volpe. Reached on a force out, drove in the game's first run with a bouncer up the middle, and later came in to score on the hit from Austin Wells. Second night in a row that the Yankees have faced a left-hander who had been pitching really well entering their respective starts. They tagged Noah Cameron for 6 runs. Here so far, they've scored 5 against Bubic. The Yankees entered the night hitting .271 off lefties at second best in baseball. And their OPS against lefties, .840 as a team. That's first by 50 points over the next closest team in Boston. Volpe strikes out, 2 away.
Well, when Bubic is right, he gets a lot of this. That riding deceptive fastball up in the zone. A lot of swing and misses, a lot of pop-ups. It's not about the velo, it's about the deception and the movement that he gets from his release point. Also, really good extension, reaches out there.
Here's Trent Grisham. Hard grounder back up the middle. And Witt takes care of Grisham. So a good bounce back inning for Bubic here in the third. We'll go to the home half of inning number 3. 5-0 Yankees. The WNBA is on Prime. The players you can't stop watching and the players you can't stop talking about. Don't miss the WNBA all season long. It's on Prime. How about the Liberty? Off to a white-hot start. How about that barbecue?
How about that knife?
It's a serious knife. My goodness. 5-0 Yankees here. Did you get barbecue while you're in town so far?
Oh, yes.
They take their craft seriously. swatted foul off the bat of John Rave, the Royals right fielder. Rave made his big league debut back on May 26th. He's played the corners in the outfield. 5th round pick of the Royals in 2019 out of Illinois State. Volpe playing close to the bag at second. Two from Schmidt. Got him to go. Knuckle curve dumped on the inner half. And Rave is down swinging.
Excellent sequencing. A four-seam fastball previously sets this pitch up. I talked about Clark Schmidt kind of pitching off of his cut fastball in his last start, throwing an enormous amount. Tonight, a little better mix.
Here's Kyle Isbell, another left-hander, rounding out the Royal lineup. And that's tapped weakly. Going to be a tough play for Schmidt. Fires to first, and they get Isbell 2 away. Good execution by Schmidt.
Yankee pitchers collectively have fielded their position well this year, and Clark Schmidt's the only one with a chance. Bare hand and throw. Watching Max Fried.
That ball came right to his hand. He was able to cup it.
Exactly. That ball was still kind of rolling, so he could field it that way with his bare hand.
Here's Jonathan India. Walked in his first time up. Yanks up 5-zip, bottom of the 3rd, 2 out, nobody on. And he sends it into shallow center. That'll be a base hit. First of the night for the Royals. A 2-out single to center for India.
Schmidt tries to run that two-seamer in, and it just didn't get there. Right back up the box.
Well, now Schmidt will have to face Bobby Witt Jr. here in the 3rd. He would have liked to let off with him in the 4th. See how he responds after giving up that 2-out single. Struck Witt out back in the 1st with a sweeper. Witt pops it up. A lot of hang time for Trent Grisham. And he puts it away. Royals get a hit. They leave a runner. We have played 3 at Kauffman Stadium. 5-0 Yankees. Fans, NASCAR on Prime heads to Mexico City for the first ever points-paying International Cup Series race in modern history. 14 turns and 7,000 feet of altitude. Get ready for a road course with all new challenges in Stream Mexico City this Sunday. NASCAR, it's on Prime. 7,000 feet of altitude. Leave the driving to the pros.
Yes.
Here's DJ LeMahieu. Chris Bubich followed up a 41-pitch second with a 9-pitch 3rd. LeMahieu looks at strike 1. LeMahieu walked back in the 2nd, so David, in 11 innings, DJ LeMahieu has reached base 5 times.
Yes. Just see his confidence coming back. That's why, Aaron Boone wanted to play him at second base and Jazz Chisholm at third because he wanted to give DJ a runway to see what he has left, to see if he can still do it at his natural position.
Oh, this is rolled foul, and we'll see if LeMahieu's okay. So clipped him.
I was surprised at that decision. Jazz Chisholm has so much range up the middle at second base. Get another look here.
This is where you hold your breath, David. Aaron Boone's coming out, hit him on the foot.
Right on top of his foot.
Shooing off Boone. But this is where the injuries have occurred for LeMahieu in recent memory. A ball and 2 strikes. And he punches it past the lunge of Caglione into right field, base hit. LeMahieu going the other way, and he leads off the 4th with a single.
Classic DJ LeMahieu swing. Fights it off. Hits it hard the other way. Let's see him get out of the box. This is 100 miles an hour off his bat. When you get a knock, the pain kind of goes away a little bit.
3rd hit of the series for LeMahieu. Wells fouls off the first pitch. One and one. We talked about the Yankees' success off lefties here, but the lefty production against lefty pitchers has been sky high. Pitches up there for a ball. The major league average with lefties on lefties, 224. The Yankees are at 243. You might say, well, those are still low numbers, but that's a stark difference above league average. And the low numbers illustrate how tough it is.
And their righties kill lefties too. So when you have lefties that are well above average, like you just stated, along with Aaron Judge, Goldschmidt, it's double trouble for left-handed pitching.
The 3-1 high chopper, Caglione to second for 1. Throw to first. Bubic can't get to the bag in time, and Wells beats it out. So good hustle by Wells. And he remains at first base with 1 away.
Yeah, this is the toughest play for a pitcher, to get over there on a double play ball, because you got to find the bag and the ball, and you can see he can't do it. You kind of trust your footing, and you think it's there, but it's not.
Back to the top of the lineup. Goldschmidt. Drove in 2 back in the second. A check swing did not go around, according to Alfonso Marquez. Talking about lefty production, Goldschmidt has hit a blistering 441 off lefties. It's always been terrific against lefty pitchers, but this season has stood out. Takes a changeup on 2-0.
Well, we mentioned before, the Yankees lineup, really for the first time all year, clicking on all cylinders, 9 deep.
2-1 into left, sliding his Waters. He can't make it. The ball gets behind him. It's stopped dead in its tracks, and Wells will stay put at second base. So the ball died, and that prevented Wells from taking an extra base.
Just off the web of the glove. got just enough of it to keep it from rolling behind him all the way to the wall, and then they would have been off to the races. Wells has got to read. Halfway.
Here's a chance for Ben Rice with runners at first and second. Yankees trying to add to their 5-0 lead. You know, Rice caught the final 2 innings last night, David. And Aaron Boone said, yeah, it was only 2 innings, but they really liked his catching. And you wonder, with Giancarlo Stanton's return imminent, if it could be a possibility where we might see Rice behind the plate more often than not.
Tanner Swanson's been talking him up, saying he's good back there, and I know I've heard Meredith talk about that too, as she's discussed that with Tanner himself.
And guys, he's been catching bullpen sessions.
Shallow left field. Waters calls off Witt, makes the catch.
And he's been doing all the work on the side. In fact, Carlos Rodon threw a side today, and Ben Rice was out there catching him. So he's familiar with the pitching staff. They feel good about his ability to be able to do it. But at this point in time, it's not that he has really worked himself up to playing 9 innings in a Major League Baseball game. So that would be the biggest challenge for him, being out there for a full 9 innings. But the Yankees are not concerned about his ability. But David, it's almost like a jigsaw puzzle. How do you get Austin Wells in there almost every day, plus Escara, and get Ben Rice in the mix? It's not going to be easy for Aaron Boone, but a good problem to have.
Aaron Judge now at the plate. Might take a little longer in the coming days to pencil out a lineup.
And you consider, is he going to be at first base at all? Does Goldschmidt get the majority of those reps? And then even the outfield rotation that's been working for them.
Judge sending it pretty deep to right, but playable for Rave. And he makes the catch.
You know, what are they going to do there? Because they're going to have to figure that out as well. They can't rotate that DH spot anymore when Giancarlo Stanton comes back. We'll get into it more when we get back here on Prime Video.
Beautiful early summer night in downtown Kansas City. Really a throwback city in the downtown area. A mixture of modern and throwback architecture. It is beautiful. Yankees are up 5-0 as we move on to the bottom of the 4th. Clark Schmidt's been pretty efficient so far.
Pitch count's under control up to now, and a good mix of pitches from Clark Schmidt.
Here's Michael Garcia, Royals number 3 hitter. Hit into a force out back in the 1st. Schmidt's only allowed 1 hit. 3 base runners total. First pitch strike. Poke foul behind home plate. So Clark ahead 0-2. And a pitch. Ripped back up the middle, base hit for Garcia. That was smoked. Hard turn. Here comes Garcia going for 2. The throw, and he is out at second base. Garcia a bit brazen, and he's staying over at second. He maintains he beat the tag. We'll see.
And so will we right here. And they are going to challenge. Kind of depends where the tag happened. High up on the leg. Did he get the foot underneath the tag? Down 5 runs, you better make sure. Aggressive play. Boy, that's close. We'll get a good look right here. Is the foot there? Before the tag?
Really close. Might be too close to overturn.
That is the point. You might have just beat it, but you're right, Justin. I mean, is that enough?
Remember, the evidence has to be conclusive for it to be overturned. Here's another look.
He might have just beat it. Of course, Major League Baseball's central office will get even better looks at it.
Garcia didn't move off second. He feels he's safe, that he beat the tag. Ooh, went knee to knee, too. The part of whether it's inconclusive or not is probably what's taking this long.
After review, the call stands. The runner is out. And Kansas City will lose their challenge.
Garcia out on the throw.
Well, you called it, Justin. I mean, whatever call was on the field was going to stand either way.
Scored 8-4 as Grisham and LeMahieu team up to get Garcia off the bases. One away.
Yep. If he was called safe, that would have stood as well.
Here's Pasquantino. Pretty good night in center field for Trent Grisham.
Heck of a catch. An assist right there.
Albeit everything had to be under review. Pasquantino named the American League Player of the Week on Monday. Yankees held him in check last night. But here, Schmidt behind 3-0. Gets the strike. Salvador Perez on deck. And it's ball 4. Second walk of the night for Schmidt.
He's been waiting to make an appearance for a while.
It comes out after a walk?
Anything, I guess. Yeah, that's
okay.
Pasquatch. You know, I've been saying Sasquatch, but that is Pasquatch here in Kansas City.
Well, I guess if anyone was tasked to go get the Judge home run ball from last night, it'd be that guy.
Yes.
Go have a look-see. All right. Comes out and does the strut for a walk.
He's got some swag.
Bar's low. That must feel like a good outfit to wear in the summers here in Kansas City.
Yeah.
Must smell great. Popped foul by Perez.
You know, for years, the late, great Dan Quisenberry had the hose. He'd hose the fans down here at the K. He was a great one, Dan Quisenberry. Pasquatch probably needs a hose, too.
How hot would your feet get on the turf?
It was unbelievably hot. We used to see Frank White come in between innings and have a bucket of ice water.
popped up, shallow right. LeMahieu out on the grass. Makes the catch. 2 away.
I mean, their rubber cleats that you wore on AstroTurf would literally melt here at this stadium when they had AstroTurf.
Here's Jack Caglione batting with 2 outs and a runner on. 5-0 Yankees, bottom of the 4th. Hit foul. The turf here at Kauffman Stadium was in play when the stadium opened in 1973 all the way until 1994. We've had real grass for 30 years now. Bounce foul. Over 50 years old, and this place is still sparkling.
Yes. Did a renovation too of the outfield. Brought in the seats and the walk around.
Oh, 2 to Caglione. Did he bite? No, he did not.
You know, at one point, Justin, they had talked about sort of an umbrella here to be able to go over both stadiums. As we get a look there in the check swing, that would have been something, a modern marvel, if you would have had railroad tracks and an umbrella that could have slid between Arrowhead and Royal Stadium.
The 1-2 just hit foul. The stadiums are connected underground. You can walk from one to the other. Talking to some Royals people, the ball club ownership wants a new ballpark, and word is that an announcement of some sort could be coming over the next month or 2. There was talk of a downtown ballpark. Now it seems like it's a matter of who wants the Royals more, the state of Kansas or the state of Missouri. We're right on the border here. Swing and a miss. Caglione chases the knuckle curve, and Clark Schmidt racks up strikeout number 5. We're going to the 5th. It's 5-0 Yanks. Tomorrow night on Yes, don't miss the series finale here in Kansas City with coverage beginning at 6:30. Then on Friday, the Bombers head to Boston for a rematch with the Red Sox. Coverage begins at 6 o'clock on Yes and the Gotham Sports app. Second weekend in a row, it'll be the Yankees and Red Sox. First trip to Fenway here in 2025. Here's Cody Bellinger. Well, the Yankees, they lost 2 of 3 to the Red Sox in the Bronx over the weekend, David. So much was asked about, hey, what can you pick up from a team when you're facing them less than a week later? And we're going to have roughly the same pitching matchups as well. So what could we find out to be the same?
You know, it's hard to say. I think maybe just how you go about facing individual hitters, especially younger hitters that you didn't know a lot about. Maybe Campbell did some damage on Rodon. Maybe look to pitch him inside a little differently, maybe.
Big swing by Bellinger. Of course, in the time between these 2 series, the Red Sox called up their top prospect, Roman Anthony, so the Yankees will see him for the first time.
When you face teams back-to-back like that, back-to-back starts or relatively quickly, like you're saying, you definitely want to change your sequence or give a little different look.
The Red Sox began the day 3 games under 500. Just wrapped up a series with the Rays. Another foul ball. Bubic still pitching in this game after a 41-pitch second inning.
It's a nice little comeback. He's going to think about that 5-run second inning, but he's still out there.
Bellinger making him work.
There's so many ways to evaluate pitchers and their stuff nowadays. The movement profile, the release point.
Misses there. So it's 3-2.
20 years ago, you'd say, oh, his fastball's 92, 93, and that was it. It's 2-seam or 4-seam. Now you've got everything, all the information. Where he releases it from, what kind of movement he has. Everything's measured.
Payoff. Ribbed foul.
That's what's made Bubic so deceptive. When you look at his fastball under the hood, the extension he gets, he really reaches out there. The lower than average release point, where it comes from. The type of riding action, movement on his 4-seamer. All those things combined.
Bellinger putting in a good at-bat.
That plays into why his fastball is so good, so deceptive, generally speaking, and has been. It's a lot of swing and misses on 93 and 94 miles an hour. Right past hitters or hitters swinging underneath of it.
Bubic was the Royals' first-round pick in 2018 out of Stanford. Made his big league debut in 2020. 11th pitch of the at-bat is sent high into center. Isbell waiting for it. And he makes the catch. You know, this team drafted some highly touted right-handed pitchers with some first-round picks. Brady Singer, Brad Keller, and over the years, that group just kind of hasn't clicked. It's been the Lugos and the Wakas who they've imported in free agency. Cole Reagans was brought in via a trade. That's where the Royals' pitching success has come in recent seasons. So for Bubic to do what he's doing here is a big win for the organization.
That means so much to individual organizations too, as well, and their player development. The feather in the cap for everybody, top to bottom.
Chisholm's third plate appearance, walked and grounded out. Yankees are going for the series win. Trying to improve to 16 games above 500 for the second time this season. We have 5 runs on 6 hits thus far. Swatted, foul. Chisholm choking up a little bit with 2 strikes. Two. Clip Salvador Perez. That was the previous pitch, that foul ball.
A big follow through from Jazz Chisholm.
And then he clipped himself.
Two-seamer in. Boy, it just chases him in. That's the only thing you can do with that pitch. Hit it straight down, off your foot.
Count's now full to the second straight hitter of the inning. And it's ball 4. Well, the Royals have a righty up in the bullpen. And here comes Matt Cocharo. For all his dominance, David, a bunch of 7-inning outings. The 99 pitches thrown here tonight for Kris Bubic. It's a season high. The Yankees made him labor.
You can see the frustration.
Yankees get to the league's ERA leader. He's done after 4 1/3. Fans come out to Yankee Stadium on Wednesday, June 18th, when the Yankees take on the Angels. It's Yankees Bucket Hat Night, and the first 18,000 guests in attendance will receive a Yankees bucket hat courtesy of Wendy's. Tickets are going fast, so get yours today at Yankees.com. Jonathan Bolin recalled from AAA Omaha today, on in relief of Kris Bubic. Yankees up 5-zip, and Volpe swings and misses through the first pitch. Volpe's 0 for 2 with a run scored and a run driven in. Yankees scored 5 runs in the second inning off Bubic. So, David, they come into Kansas City. They face a red-hot rookie in Noah Cameron. They tag him for 6 runs. Here, they get Bubic for 5 runs in 4 innings and change. Chisholm's his responsibility as well. 2 lefties facing this lineup, and they've acquitted themselves well.
This deep Yankee lineup can chase a pitcher out of the strike zone. You feel like you have to make perfect pitches.
And it's punched down the right field line. Fair ball for Volpe. Hitting the Jets is Chisholm. He'll streak into third. Volpe sprinting into second. He slides in ahead of the throw. A double for Volpe. His team leading 20th. And the Yankees have runners at second and third.
Once again, the Yankee base runners taking advantage of the outfield arms of the Royals, and Volpe just outstanding hitting right where it's pitched away. And Volpe doesn't hesitate at all. John Ray throws about a 3-hopper to second base, and Volpe's in there.
So here's Grisham. Takes a strike from the Royals right-hander. So that double by Volpe moves him into a tie with Brendan Donovan for 5th in all of baseball.
And those 2 guys are right there. He's staying close. Got something to say. Now's it.
Garcia and Chisholm, the 2 third basemen. And that one gets away from Salvador Perez. Chisholm stays put.
A little side eye going on there.
Yeah, if you're in the dugout for each team, are you kind of looking at that area at the corner of your eye?
You're ready. You're ready to go. It's just, they're right there.
There's a rich history at third base between these 2 teams. And tension.
Yes.
Garcia even closer with the Royals infield playing in.
If looks could kill.
1-2 to Grisham. Pitch. Tapped weakly foul.
You mentioned that 5-run second inning that the Yankees had, and that's, when you've got a lineup like the Yankees have, that's in better shape now than it's been all year in terms of 9 deep. That's what they do. Every at bat grinds down the opposing pitcher.
I mean, we're seeing it here 1 through 9. It is remarkable, the emergence of DJ LeMahieu over the last 10 days, how much it lengthens this Yankee offense. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And another foul ball. Bowling ready to go. Full count.
Good take right there. Good pitch, good take.
A base hit, likely scored 2 with the speed on the bases for the Yankees. Payoff pitch. And he missed upstairs, out of the zone. It's ball 4. Let's take a look at Game 5 of the 77 Championship Series. There's the turf. There's the punch. Right here at Kauffman Stadium. Greg Nettles, George Brett. I get a kick out of the casual kick. Nobody was ejected, David.
I never get tired of watching that clip. I mean, I've seen it 100 times. In the playoffs.
Still just 1 out, bases loaded for the Yankees. And LeMahieu, one of their hottest hitters. Perez keeps it in front of him. LeMahieu with a hit and a walk tonight. He has reached base 6 times so far this series.
Over his last 7 games, DJ LeMahieu now batting .400. 8 for 20.
And he skies it down the right field line, but foul. It's pretty close down that right field line. Young Yankee fan has his night made. The Yankees have a chance to kick down the door here in the top of the 5th. 1 out, base is loaded, already up 5-0. 1-2. Missed. Chisholm stays put. The 2-2 to LeMahieu. Cracked on a liner. Good scoop by Garcia. Throws from his backside to second. The throw to first. Wow. What a double play. Michael Garcia with the bases loaded. Able to start the double play from his backside, and the Royals get out of the inning. Let's check out the T-Mobile coverage cam. We go back to the 2nd inning. Drew Waters' first at-bat of the night. And Trent Grisham robbing him of a base hit. Laying out and just getting it into the glove. They had to review that play. But Grisham was confident that he made the catch. He started walking off the field.
Yeah, he just ran right to the dugout. Clark Schmidt was saying, hold up, hold up. He knew.
So here is Drew Waters in his 2nd plate appearance. Oswald Peraza has entered the game for Jazz Chisholm Jr. He's at 3rd base. So the 2nd straight night where Jazz has left early. Waters, one of the Royals' rotating outfielders. He's had starts at all 3 positions. Switch hitter. He's hit well this season. Doesn't chase. There you see Peraza.
Well, that is interesting.
Jazz left with a stiff neck last night. Right back in the lineup here tonight, but now he leaves early after 5 innings. Ugly swing by Drew Waters. Schmidt forces the sword. 6 strikeout.
Nice little comeback by Clark Schmidt. Got back into the count and gets the chase on the backdoor cutter. Semi-sword.
Not bigger than the one that was cutting that barbecue before.
That's right.
Here's John Rave. A 1 hit foul, nothing in 2 to Rave.
Yeah, that's the formula for Clark Schmidt. You got a 5 spot, you got a lead, your pitch count's in good shape. Get uber aggressive right now. Go right after them. Put the pressure on the hitter. It's a race to 0-2 for him right now. Any pitcher in this spot, it's a race to get to 0-2 every at bat.
Poked foul. In there, called strike 3. Knuckle curve has been a trusty weapon for Clark Schmidt. He uses it to pick up his 7th strikeout, 2 away.
Yeah, this has unbelievable spin on it. And look how quiet Austin Wells is behind the plate catching that. Glove on the ground. Look, his body doesn't move. Just a little subtle movement with the glove. That is the key. You know, framing matters. It just does. It shows up over and over again. And Austin Wells, excellent right there and very good overall.
3 consecutive strikeouts for Clark Schmidt. Here's Kyle Isbell with 2 outs and nobody on.
In other words, a lot of times you see catchers move their whole body to go get a pitch like that. Austin Wells quiet with his torso and just a little subtle movement with the glove.
An illusionist.
Yes.
Schmidt quickly ahead 0-2.
He gets some of the best spin on his knuckle curves and sweepers in the game, and that's why you get that high whiff rate. Regularly over 3,000 RPMs with both of those pitches are around there. And that is well above average.
And this had been a good test for Schmidt heading into tonight because the Royals offense, as feeble as it's been at times, they're still 2nd in baseball with a .254 average against breaking pitches. And they had the 2nd lowest strikeout percentage against breaking pitches. One, 2. Missed upstairs.
Clark Schmidt has a gift to be able to spin in baseball very tightly. Seven strikeouts on the night. Right now, looking for number 8.
2-2. Back to the cutter.
You know, spin isn't everything, but the tighter you spin it, the harder it is to pick it up. The later the break can happen.
2-2 again. Misses low. So Isbell works the count full. 5-0 Yankees, bottom of the 5th, 2 out and nobody on. That's been the story for Clark Schmidt tonight. He's done a terrific job of limiting base runners. Royals have only had 4. Now make it 5. 2-out walk to the 9-hitter.
That was an automatic fine for Mel Stoudemire. 2-out walks with nobody on base. Put $20 in, and at the end of the year, we'd have a pitcher's party with all the fine money. Mel was great.
How far did that take you guys?
You'd be surprised because there was other things on that list too that were sort of the Stoudemire fine list. Not backing up bases, not getting over to first base, all the fundamentals that pitchers are supposed to do. Little things. He'd keep track. The next day, you'd see the list. What you did wrong, what the fines were. Put your money in the kitty.
Made sure you went to the ATM that day.
Cash only.
Yeah.
No Venmo.
No IOUs.
Yes.
Here's India now with 2 outs, a runner at first. Schmidt would love to get through this 5th inning. Pick up that 3rd out, especially right here with Witt on deck. Lands down the right field line. Right near the Royals mascot. This inning is laborious by far. 19 as he searches for out number 3. One to India. Didn't chase. India's reached base twice tonight. A single and a walk. And he pops it up. Shallow right field. Out on the grass. LeMahieu makes the catch. And the inning comes to a close. Clark Schmidt threw 5 shutout innings here in KC. Oh, David, look at the bark on that bad boy. KC brisket, baby.
Oh, juicy.
Start of the 6th inning in Kansas City, Missouri. Beautiful summer night. Humidity not too high. And the Yankees have a 5-0 lead. And Austin Wells fouls off the first pitch. John Bolin in his first full inning of work. Yankees scored 5 runs off Chris Bubic, who entered tonight leading the league in earned run average. Wells has reached base twice tonight. You know, David, you were talking about Mel Stoudemire and his fine jar, and it had me thinking to a story that we learned today. A couple of Yankees personnel, well, I shouldn't say a couple, a handful went to the Negro League Museum here in Kansas City. We were able to get a personal tour from the great Bob Kendrick, as Wells lifts it deep into left field. Waters makes the catch, and we learned about an old Negro League manager, executive, Rube Foster. He would draw a circle in the infield, right near home plate, and he told his hitters, all right, lay a bunt down. If you can't get the ball in the circle, it's a $5 fine. And a $5 fine back then was a lot of change. Players were only making about $100 a season. That's a daunting fine jar.
That's motivation, right?
Yeah.
Bob Kendrick has so many great stories. I've been over there so many times. with him and the great late Buck O'Neil.
Here's a look at the Negro League Museum.
You have to go. If you're a baseball fan, you get into Kansas City, you got to go see it.
And Trent Grisham was one of the guys from the Yankees that went today. He told me it was the first time that he had ever been there, and he knew a lot of the history, a lot of the stories, but hearing it from Bob Kendrick and the added details just really exemplifies it more. And he said one thing that stood out to him is just how hard it was and how easy they have it now, and he never wants to forget that. He mentioned Larry Doby in particular and that story, and everybody talks about Jackie Robinson breaking the color barrier. Well, he did it basically without the fanfare and the coverage, and thought to himself, man, it must have been 5 times worse for him. He wondered what it was like back then. Really enjoyed his experience learning about that added history. And Justin, I understand there were some other special guests
This was an eclectic group on this tour, Meredith. So Trent was there. The guy at the plate, Paul Goldschmidt, was there.
With his parents, right?
Yes. There is also, just by coincidence, we saw Alfonso Ribeiro in the stands here. Good catch by India at second for the second out. He was there with his kids. They're in the area because his children, the Vipers, they have a baseball tournament in Omaha. So they said, we're Yankee fans, let's catch the Yankees on the road. He was there. Randomly, Joe Carter in this tour group.
This was a crowd.
This is great.
This was a great crowd.
You never know who you're going to see at the Negro League Museum.
Awesome place. Check it out.
You know what I learned too? The scout who signed Joe Carter? Buck O'Neil.
Yes. And the late owner here, Ewing Kaufman, made a bid to sign Joe Carter because Joe Carter's a hometown kid here.
Rice pops it up center field. Isbell gives way to Waters. And a 1-2-3 top of the 6th inning for Bowen and the Royals. Some of the greats to ever take the field at the Negro League Museum in Kansas City, Missouri. The great Josh Gibson. How about Pop Lloyd? Some of the best names and athletes to ever take a baseball field. Amazing. Oscar Charleston. Some regard him as the best baseball player of all time. And nobody cooler than Leroy Satchel Paige.
That's the one for me right there.
And the Kansas City Monarchs. No, he named his own pitches.
He had about a dozen different pitches with specific names. I used to love the stories of Satchel going barnstorm, hopping in his Cadillac and driving all around, supplementing his income any way he could back then.
Bob Kendrick just lays out all of the pitches for Satchel Paige. It was about 10, 11 pitches deep. He said his favorite pitch is the B-ball. Why is it called the B-ball? Satchel said, because it bees where I want to be it when I want it to be there.
Yes. It's great.
Clark Schmidt facing Bobby Witt Jr. a third time through. And one of my favorite parts of the tour, Bob was showing the children the wooden shin guards that the catchers would wear, their jaws drop. What? You put that on your shins? I mean, and those shin guards were invented in the Negro Leagues. Schmidt thought he had strike 3 on Witt.
Now look at this cutter just off the edge.
Two and two to the Royal shortstop. And he reaches for it, sends it out into right field to the reigning MVP. Judge makes the catch. The runner-up goes back to the bench. There's Rube Foster.
kind of like the godfather of the Negro Leagues. Just an amazing display of artifacts and rich history. It's Michael Garcia, 1 for 2 tonight. Schmidt has only permitted 2 hits against the Royals. Steven Cruz, Royals righty, warming up. After an off day on Monday and De Los Santos and Hill being used in last night's rout, Yankee bullpen is in pretty good shape. Clark Schmidt's pitch count is in a good spot. Tries to go 6 complete here. Can't get that call.
Hey guys, speaking of the Yankee bullpen, Luke Weaver threw what Matt Blake told me was his first official bullpen since landing on the IL. A little bit higher intensity fastball between 90 and 92 miles an hour through 18 pitches. I caught up with Weaver yesterday and he said that he was feeling so much better, pleasantly surprised with how his body is responding to the PRP shot. They're optimistic that they're going to get him back on the shorter side of the time frame that they originally thought, but it's all on how he responds and if he's continuing to respond well. So you don't really know how his body's going to react, but so far so good for Luke Weaver, who they could use back into the bullpen.
It's a great sign. They can get him back earlier than expected. It'll be a big boost. Welcoming news.
And on the starter side, Marcus Stroman threw with the Somerset Patriots today. 3 1/3 for him, 46 pitches. He's going to continue to build himself up. And he did say to local reporters that whatever the Yankees need, he's willing to do whatever role that they need him for. So that's something to keep an eye on. Aaron Boone saying they're going to continue to stretch him out. They want to see how his left knee responds, but encouraging on Stroman's behalf as well.
The Yankee rotation has been a sneaky strength here in 2025. Mark Leiter Jr. warming up. For Marcus Stroman to say that, obviously a lot of people observing from the outside, let's say, well, that's very different from what he said in spring training. But if you're a pitcher trying to get back on the field, you just want to help this group any way you can.
Those 2 lefties right there might both make a bid for the All-Star game this year.
Rodon and Fried. And Will Warren. You have Ryan Yarbrough as well, so all 4 watching Clark Schmidt operate here. Fried is in Schmidt's spot from last night, right along the railing and with the baseball in his hand.
He was working on a little one-line sinker there. A little twist to Fried there, trying to, you know, the seam orientation is key. And he has really kind of got a little extra movement on his pitches this year. The Yankee laboratory has served him well.
2-2 with 2 outs. And Pasquantino pops it up. Dangerous area down the right field line. Judge coming on, and he makes the running catch. Judge puts it away in a 1-2-3 6th inning for Clark Schmidt. We are going to the 7th. It's 5-0 Yankees. Coming up next Wednesday in the Bronx, it is the Yankees and the Angels, and it's only on Prime as their coverage begins at 6:30. Back at the stadium. Beautiful fountains here at Kauffman Stadium. Aaron Judge looking for his first hit here tonight. And he's facing Steven Cruz. Sub-2 ERA in just over 20 innings so far. First pitch by Cruz.
Judge flew out into right field in the 4th, walked in the 2nd, struck out in the 1st against Bubic. Yanks up 5-0 as we start the 7th. Right at the knees. Again, the Royals activated Lucas Hursak, an important piece to this pen before the game. But they had to put Cole Reagans back on the injured list for a 2nd time this season. The ball and 2 strikes to Judge. And he sends it high and deep into right center field. Isbell on the run. My goodness, he has done it again. Aaron Judge with a low liner into right center field. Home run number 25 for the captain. The KC killer on the loose. 6-0 Yankees. There are moonshots, and then there are bullets like that, David.
On a 1-2 count. After a 99-mile-an-hour fastball, Cruz tries to back it up. 99, not a problem for number 99.
Three straight games with at least 1 homer for Judge. And it's 6-0. Bellinger sends it pretty deep to right center field. Playable for Isbell. He makes the catch. Let's take another look.
Goes in at 99 miles an hour. It left about 109 miles an hour. It always goes out harder than it comes in off of Aaron Judge's bat. .413 feet.
Peraza, first at bat of the night, bounces to short, 2 away. Let's get another angle on that swing from Aaron Judge.
Just a laser. It took about 4.8 seconds to go. 413 feet.
And guys, I loved what Aaron Boone said after the game the other day with a smile on his face. It's time to move him up to the next level. He's done everything he can do here, obviously joking. But there was just an announcement on Jazz Chisholm Jr. He left tonight's game with left groin tightness, so we'll check in with him after the game, see where he's at and whether or not there'll be any additional tests for him.
So Volpe behind 0-2, and you want to be careful with a speedster like Chisholm when it comes to an injury like the groin. Strike 3. We'll talk about Jazz when we return here. But Aaron Judge unloading at Kauffman Stadium. Home run number 25 at 6-0 Yankees. It's time for the 7th inning recap, brought to you by Inspire. 6 runs on 8 hits for the Yankees. They put up a 5 spot against Chris Bubic in the 2nd. A 2-run single from Paul Goldschmidt, highlighting that flurry for the Yankee offense. Aaron Judge with home run number 25 here in the top of the 7th. Clark Schmidt, his night is over after 6 scoreless innings. The lefty Brent Hendrick on the mound. Here he faces Salvador Perez. So David Chisholm left last night with a stiff neck, but tonight it's the groin, and it definitely causes a little bit of concern.
You have to worry. You know, you don't want to speculate, but we were talking all night about the Yankees finally at full strength, 1 through 9. Everybody's together on the same page, pulling on the rope in the same direction. And we'll just have to wait for Meredith to talk to Jazz after the game and see.
Marquez lines right to Peraza. Snares the hot shot. One away. All right, let's take a look at Name That Yankee. 248 career average. Over 600 hits, over 100 stolen bases. Now he also managed both the Yankees and the Royals here after his playing career. Does that make it easier for you?
It should. He was my manager.
Here's a liner by Jack Caglione into right center field. So a one-out single there. It's your first big league manager?
Yes. When Jack hits it, he hits it hard. Caglione's got some talent. It's gonna be fun to watch him kind of play his craft here.
Here's Drew Waters. Misses out. Nick Lofton, rather, coming in to pinch hit. Just 10 games here in 2025. And he pops it up behind home plate. That'll reach the seats. Falls right below our booth. Fernando Cruz getting loose. So with Schmidt out of the game, Matt Quatraro could empty his bench full of right-handers. We'll see. Especially with Hedrick on the mound right now. Tapped foul right at home plate. All righties tonight on the bench for the Royals. Saw Daniel Lynch the fourth last night. 1-2. Comebacker right to the mound. Hedrick to second. Low throw. LeMahieu. Not in time. They're going to have to hurry right off the bat to start. But that throw from Hedrick low, they do get the out at second, 2 away.
Well, another look, and you can see sometimes the mound can throw you off a little bit. You just going back uphill kind of throws a sinker to DJ LeMahieu, and if you hit him in the chest, he might have had another step to make that throw. Could have got it off a little quicker, but nonetheless, got one.
Here's John Rave. Two strikeouts against Schmidt tonight, who went 6 scoreless innings, allowed 2 hits, walked 3, and struck out 7. And he's in line for his 3rd win. 6-0 Yankees, bottom of the 7th. Hedrick wanted that call.
Another look. On the black.
1-2. Popped up, right field, coming on Judge. He'll make the catch on the run. Side retired. As Brent Hedrick pitches a scoreless 7th, we go to the 8th. Yanks up 6. Here's a look at the Yankees' upcoming schedule, brought to you by Dietz and Watson. And again, we talked about it last night, day 2
of a stretch where they're playing 16 games in 16 days. So right after this, on to Boston. First trip to Fenway, then it's back home for a 7-game homestand against the Angels and the Orioles. Then on the road to Cincinnati, back home for the A's. Nick Lofton is in left field. And a new pitcher, Daniel Lynch IV, who we saw in last night's game. Yankees lead it 6-0. Looking for a quick series victory.
Little weekend series in June in Fenway Park.
That's right. Yankees, Red Sox, back-to-back weekends, home and home. Doesn't get much better than that. Grisham's 0 for 2 with a walk tonight. So, David, we were talking about, obviously, Negro League history. Probably one of the most impressive feats in sports started on this date in 1938. It's right in your wheelhouse. Has to do with someone being on the mound. Johnny Vandermeer throws his first no-hitter. First in back-to-back no-hitters.
Yes. Never been done. Probably won't be done again.
He beat the Boston Braves before pitching another no-hitter 4 days later against the Dodgers at Ebbets Field.
It's just so hard to not only throw a no-hitter, but even a complete game nowadays.
Did you think about that name when you made your next start following the perfect game?
Oh, yes, absolutely. And I was reminded of it a lot. But it ended on the first hitter. I walked the first hitter the next game. It didn't last long.
Little tapper, left side of the mound. Lynch falls to the floor, but Caglione able to corral it. We'll see if Lynch is okay. Slow to his feet. Looks like he's in pain. That was an athletic play as he throws LeMahieu out. LeMahieu thought he fouled that. Late out of the box.
That's not good. You see he's still on the ground in pain. Looks like he grabs his leg a little bit. Maybe groin area.
The tough part about that is he didn't have to rush that. It's unfortunate. What do you think?
Right off the top of home plate and up high. Boy, that's a good question.
That's why LeMahieu stayed in the box. Trying to test it out. Says he's good.
Good sign for the Royals. A little clap from the crowd.
On a day where they already had to put Cole Reagans on the injured list, they don't want to take a hit to their depth any further. This is a Royals team in danger of dropping to 500 for the first time since late April. A playoff team from a year ago, currently in 4th place in the AL Central. Started tonight 9.5 games in back of the Detroit Tigers. Here's Wells. 2 out, nobody on. 6-0 Yanks, top of the 8th. Wells has reached base twice. A productive night for him early in run-scoring situations. Had an RBI double in that 5-run second. The 1-2. High drive, right field, Rave. He's there, and he puts it away. 1-2-3 inning for Daniel Lynch, the 4th. Bottom of the 8th coming up. 6-0 Yankees. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. Brent Hedrick going back to work. 2nd inning of duty as we start the bottom of the 8th. 6-0 Yankees. 6 outs away from a shutout victory and a series win. Mark Canha pinch hitting in the 9th spot. So he replaces Kyle Isbell. Does Mark Canha still run? Is he active with @BigLeagueFoodie on Instagram?
Good question, because he really is a big-time foodie. He loved playing in New York for the Mets.
Let's check that out quickly. This is the information we need. Canha does a great job just documenting all the hot spots on the road for good food. All right, so he last posted a picture of a dish of food on May 28th, so he's staying with it.
Yes.
Looked like he's at a German restaurant, the St. Pierre Steak and Seafood in Minnesota. You know, Minneapolis, David, an underrated food town in this great country.
Just a great city. There's a stretch during the summer where it's just gorgeous. I mean, they get some tough winters. That's Michael Kay. That's Michael Kay's.
That's right. There are no fill-ins for Michael on the tender circuit. Now, if he did a barbecue series, I would absolutely volunteer and cover for him here.
Where did you try here? Did you try barbecue?
The spots are the items.
Well, the spots.
The spots. Been to Arthur Bryant's. Been to Joe's.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And the items, what's your favorite?
Well, the ribs from Joe's are impeccable. What was your go-to spot? I mean, you're a native.
I am a native, and I know some holes in the wall. Well, Arthur Bryant's was always the #1 spot you wanted to go to. Legendary spot. It's actually down by the Negro League Museum and by the old ballpark. Municipal Stadium was the original Royals place. Kansas City A's, actually, too, as well.
They have some Joe's barbecue here in the ballpark. There's strike 3 to Canha. 1 away. That was a snack, David, that Ryan Ruocco and I had last year.
Wow.
Mid-morning snack.
That's no joke right there.
Between breakfast and lunch, we had to fill a cavity.
I sent Troy one of my old places yesterday down at Southwest Traffic Way called Rosedale's. Been there since the 1930s. Off the track a little bit. Really good.
We hear LC's and Gates, terrific spots. Jack Stack. The list is endless. You know it's a great barbecue town when they're selling all the rubs and the barbecue sauces in the airport.
Yes. Kansas City barbecue sauce, very specific.
India launches it into left. Bellinger on the run, and it goes over his head, bangs off the wall. India will speed into second base. He'll have himself a stand-up double. Second hit of the night for India, and just the fourth for the Royals.
Well, when the Royals brought India over, they really anticipated him being a difference maker for them. He's still batting leadoff. They really need him to get going. He's a guy that has some pop in his bat and some speed.
Aaron Boone makes the call to the bullpen as Brent Hedrick's night is over. 6-0 Yankees here in the 8th. All right, time to name that Yankee. And this is a player, a former manager, the first manager for David Cone. Who was it, David?
Dick Hauser. His number's up there in the Hall of Fame.
Let's go back into the Yankee vault for manager and former player Dick Hauser. Won it all in '85 right here.
He did. Tragically had a brain tumor and died of brain cancer. Tried to continue to manage in '86 when I got called up.
Hauser's number 10 hanging outside the Royals Hall of Fame here at Kauffman Stadium.
Also big in college at Florida State. Dick Hauser Field at Florida State.
There's Hauser's resume. So an all-star, Rookie of the Year runner-up with the Kansas City Ace.
Never would have come to the Royals had George not fired him.
It was after the Yankees lost to the Royals in the postseason in 1980. George Brett's most famous home run.
4 out of 5 years they matched up, and the Royals finally broke through in that final year.
Witt punches it into center field, coming on Grisham, and he makes the catch. They're going to rule it was a hit. Oh, let's see about this one. You know what? We got to side with Trent Grisham by this point. He says it was a hit. I mean, that he caught it. It's 2 outs.
All eyes on Aaron Boone now.
He made the catch, threw to second. The Yankees believe they doubled up India.
New York is challenging the call of no catch.
And the trio of outfielders jogging off the field, and the teammates are following them. So the Yankees challenge this play. It is under review. We are seeing the replay on the big board here at Kauffman Stadium, and we're seeing the same replay right now. Looks pretty good, David.
Yeah, I mean, you always are looking for that little skip, that short hop. That looked like it got to the leather first. He's short. How often do you see 2 plays like that, both overturned?
I'm going with the silent confidence of Trent Grisham. Look at him, he's already got his gear off.
The question becomes, if you're India and you're the base runner and you see the umpire call it safe, you continue on to third. Is it fair to assume a double play?
Right. Where would they potentially put that runner?
What do you do as a base runner?
Overturned.
Yeah.
Right.
Should you be penalized? So if you're Jonathan India, you're trying to read this, you're looking at the umpire and you continue on to third. Another look here. What do you do if you're the base runner? Okay, I'm there. Wait. I'm going back. No, safe. Okay, I'm going back to third.
India saw Carlos Torres, the second base umpire, rule it a no catch, so he moved on to third base. And now you have the outfielder, everybody for the Yankees, they're retaking the field because they feel like, well, maybe the call is going to be overturned, but India is going to probably be moved back to second base and the inning will continue.
Now, I'll say this, India was so far off, even though he was trying to get back, A good throw would have had him at second base, even though DJ LeMahieu kind of missed the first throw. A lot to unpack here.
So the umpire's likely going to use their judgment to put the runner back.
Yes.
After review, the call is overturned. It is a catch, so the batter is out. However, the runner will be placed at second base, and New York will retain their count.
See right there, he was trying to get back, although he was way closer to third than he was at second at that point. So
now I ask you this, because it's the umpire's judgment. If that's a clean throw to LeMahieu at second base, what happens then?
It's a good question.
Watch the second base umpire in the outfield. He ruled it a no catch. India followed the second base umpire, turned around, went to third.
Yeah.
So they're 2 away. India remains at second, and Garcia's the batter with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th. Yanks up 6-zip.
Well, nonetheless, the umpires are 0 for Grisham tonight.
Cruz ahead 0-2. Michael Garcia. Second and last lefty Angel Zerpa warming up in the Royal bullpen. No balls, 2 strikes. Misses in the dirt.
Good to see Cruz back and healthy again after a little shoulder scare, a little time on the IL, especially with Weaver out. So he comes back and Weaver goes on the IL. Kind of mitigates the damage for a minute.
1-2. Cruz gave up a couple of runs against the Red Sox on Sunday after he left the bases loaded for Tim Hill. The lefty inherited the runners. They scored. He's 1 strike away from a clean inning in Kansas City. And the pitch. Chopper, left side, Volpe. Inning over. The Yankees strand a runner at second in India. He's left in scoring position. We go to the 9th, 6-0 Yankees. Top of the 9th in Kansas City. Yankees ahead 6-0 as they'll go to work with the top of their lineup against Royals left-hander Angel Zerpa. And with the top of the lineup due up, that means Aaron Judge will hit third here in the top of the 9th. Mark Kent has moved over to right field, and John Rave has switched from right to center. Yankees 3 outs away from a series win. On a night in which the offense was able to punish Chris Bubic. 5-run second inning. Aaron Judge hit home run number 25 in the 7th. Clark Schmidt 6 scoreless innings. And Trent Grisham putting on a show defensively in center field.
Yes, he did.
Broken bat, roller, right side. Caglione there. Zerpa fields, and there's 1 away. That bat went straight to the backstop.
Anytime you make a full swing and all that's left in your hands is the handle of the bat, you know, you get sawed. Another look. Shrapnel.
Rice 1 for 4 tonight. Goldschmidt's travel bag will be a little lighter heading to Boston. Four-seamer at 97.
Royals crowd will get another little treat to see Aaron Judge bat one more time. That's the thing about Ben Rice this year. You know, if you look at his numbers, you say, well, maybe he's fallen off a little bit, you know. Last 15 games hitting 204, but when you look at his exit velocity and his quality of contact, he's been very unlucky.
Not much has changed in those departments.
I've seen him hit more line drives at fielders over the last month or so, more than his fair share.
To all fields as well.
Yes.
Zerpa's 0-2. One-two pitch. Oh, got him. Slider right over the plate. 2 away. Let's take a look at the Spectrum exit velocity on Aaron Judge's 25th home run of the season in the 7th inning. Going the opposite way. 108.8 miles an hour on that home run. Here he is. 5th plate appearance tonight. Oh, 1. Zerpa ahead 0-2. Mark Leiter Jr. presumably going to pitch the bottom of the 9th inning. Here's the 0-2 to Judge. Check swing. He went around, according to Alfonso Marquez. So Zerpa strikes Judge out, retires the Yankees in order in the top of the 9th inning. Yankees 3 outs away from a series win here on the road, up 6-0. Bottom of the 9th inning at Kauffman Stadium. Yankees 3 outs away from wrapping up a 2nd straight win over the Royals. They're ahead 6-0. Mark Leiter Jr. on the mound to try and pick up those final 3 outs. No runs allowed in 13 of his last 14 games. He'll face Pasquantino, Perez, and Caglione. 4-5-6 in Kansas City's lineup.
Clark Schmidt with 6 shutout innings and the bullpen following suit.
So between Fried and Schmidt tonight, first 2 games of this series, Yankee starters go a combined 13 innings, allowing 8 hits and just 2 runs while striking out 11. That's how you do it. Pasquantino with a big cut and miss.
Clark Schmidt had a good sweeper tonight. His sweeper really was his most effective pitch.
Pitch outside. Series finales tomorrow. Pitcher on the left, Will Warren, will be on the mound, taking on the veteran Seth Lugo. You see the numbers for both pitchers. Coverage on Yes begins at 7 o'clock. Wells being called up by Peraza, and the ball drops. That coverage starts at 6:30 rather. Oh boy, David. The Sasquatch comes out for that? A walk, and now that? He just likes to hog the spotlight.
He's been waiting to make an appearance. Got one earlier. And you could see Peraza's confusion there. Wasn't sure whether to go for it or not.
So what's the Sasquatch do when Pasquantino hits a home run? Does he moonwalk? Does he do the worm out there?
Yeah. He really breaks it down.
Here's Salvador Perez. Pitch is sent high in the air, deep to left field. Bellinger moving back, and it will watch it go into the Yankee bullpen for a 2-run homer. Salvador Perez strikes to start the bottom of the 9th. And this game not over yet. The veteran puts the Royals on the board, and now within 4. It's 6-2 Yankees.
This will be Sal Perez's 6th home run on the year. A no-doubter and number 279 in his career as he creeps closer to 300. Familiar leg kick, and he gets a lot of power behind that swing.
Well, that drop pop-up in the infield hurts even more here after that home run. Caglione 1 for 3 tonight. And a roller kicks off the mound. Volpe's right there. Fires to first for the first out. One away, we'll have Nick Lofton up. Came off the bench to pinch hit in the 7th. Chopper to third. That's a fair ball. Peraza, long throw. Beautiful scoop, but not in time. Goldschmidt picked it. Lofton beat it out. Ruled a base hit for Nick Lofton.
Nice effort. High chopper. Gets rid of it quickly with something on it. But the little short hop is what made him safe.
Tough inning to start for Peraza at third base. There's John Rave. Misses the top of the strike zone. And that's going to force Devin Williams to start getting loose. Yankees up 6-2, bottom of the 9th, 1 out, runner at first. Shot foul down the left field side. Rave 0 for 3, a pair of strikeouts against Clark Schmidt. Swung right over the curveball. Leiter ready to go. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And a little tapper right off the mound. Leiter stumbles, throw to first. Won't be in time, and it goes past the bag. Lofton heading for third. He's getting the wave around. Judge picks it up in right field. The throw is not in time. Lofton scores. Rave moves to second. Things are getting hairy here in the bottom of the 9th for the Yankees. It's now 6-3.
Well, it is now a save opportunity. The pitchers just react out there. Upon second thought, man, kind of wish you wouldn't have done that, but it was so softly hit. Hard to say what the outcome would have been had it got through, but we know what the outcome is now.
The outcome will be that Devin Williams will be summoned from the bullpen. Yankees up 6-3 here in the 9th. The Royals putting the heat on. All right, David, the Yankees went to the bottom of the 9th up 6-zip. It's now 6-3. The top of the Royal lineup is lurking, and here comes Devin Williams for a save opportunity.
At second, John Rave, and here's Mark Cannon. John Rave reached on a hit right in front of the mound. A hit and an error on Mark Leiter allowed Nick Lofton to score all the way from first. Rave is at second. And Jonathan India represents the tying run in the on-deck circle. Here's Canna, 0 for 1 off the bench in the 8th. Struck out his first plate appearance. What's left of this crowd of over 21,000 now really into this ball game for the first time tonight. Gets the call in the corner.
Last 17 tell a story. Much, much better. Only 5 walks.
And opponents have hit just $170. 2-1. Rave off second. The pitch. Swung right over the airbender.
That was a good one. You notice with Devin Williams, he wears the pitch count device on his belt, so he calls his pitches. But that one, wow, that was put that one in a bottle, try to save it, because that was perfectly executed. Almost tantalizing. It just hangs there like it's right down the middle, and then lately disappears.
What will he throw on 2-2? Did it again, a beauty. Canna right over it, 2 away.
The beauty of this airbender is, as you can see, Canna sort of commits, and then the break happens after he's already committed, and you can't hold up. He starts to swing right now. Now the break comes. The lateness of the movement is what sets it apart.
So the Royals down to their final out. 2 gone in the 9th. Runner at second. 6-3 ball game. Jonathan India takes strike 1. India in his career against Devin Williams, 1 for 8, 7 strikeouts. The pitch. Just missed off the outside corner.
See, he's calling his own pitches right there with the device on his belt.
Bobby Witt Jr. lurking on deck. 1-1. Shot on the ground over to first. Goldschmidt's going to take it. That'll end the game. Yankees hold on and win it 6-3 as Devin Williams picks up the save, and the Yankees win the series here at Kauffman Stadium. They will go for the sweep tomorrow night. 6-3 the final as Aaron Judge hit out his 25th home run. The Yankee offense tattooing Chris Bubich. Clark Schmidt with 6 scoreless innings, and the bullpen does the job in the end on the way to a 6-3 victory.
Last thing the Yankees were expecting was a save opportunity for Devin Williams in the 9th inning with a 6-run lead, but that's indeed what happened. A strikeout and an atom ball right to Goldschmidt. Game over and save attained.
So the Royals score all 3 of their runs in the bottom of the 9th on 4 hits. There was an error and 1 left. Time for the player of the game, presented by Snickers. Trent Grisham doing a great job in center.
Yes, the umpires were 0 for 2, but Grisham was 2 for 2. And that's just as good as it gets. I mean, laying out. Oh, this is not a replay. This is the second one, maybe even harder, because this was hit lower. And he had to get the glove down there below the ball, and that's what he did. 2.
This is what I love, the confidence.
Twice.
You see Trent Grisham, what he's been able to do here this season, the 822 OPS, just a big pick-me-up for this offense.
as he's played terrific center field, and he's down on the field with Meredith.
Thanks, Justin. Trent, got a little interesting there in the ninth inning, but ultimately you guys were able to pull this one off for another series win. Just overall, what have you thought about the way this team has been playing?
I think we're just doing it kind of all around. Judge is swinging a really hot bat right now, putting together good at-bats, playing good defense, pitching it well. Just all around.
You mentioned Aaron Judge. It's like you can't get through an interview without talking about the captain. Yet another home run tonight, 4 in his last 3 games. How do you wrap your head around what he's been doing?
It's just fun to watch him stay locked in, night out, on a consistent basis. That's really the most homers and everything happening is really cool. But the way he's just able to lock it in every night is something special.
You locked it in center field tonight, made a great play there. That was overturned in your favor in the second inning. Take me through that one to get Clark out of the inning.
It was kind of a looper. Knew I could be really aggressive and just go all out after it. Ended up getting a good jump and finishing the play.
Did a similar thing there in the 8th, and it looked like you had absolutely no doubt. You were running off the field before the call was even made. Just how much confidence do you have in your ability in center field, and what do you think makes you so good out there?
When I can just really free up and attack balls is when I'm at my best out there, and I think that helps me. That helps me out there on defense, and when I can take that to the plate as well.
Trent, appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Justin, we'll send it back up to you.
Thank you so much, Meredith. Trent Grisham, the confidence just boiling over for the Yankees center fielder as they win it 6-3. Clark Schmidt picks up the win with those 6 scoreless innings. Chris Bubich takes the loss. Devin Williams, his 8th save of the season. Paul Goldschmidt had a pair of hits, highlighting that 5-run second, and Aaron Judge with home run number 25 on the season. Special thanks to producer Troy Benjamin, director Dan Barr, Mike Webb. Our executive producer is Jared Ames-Boschnack. Don't forget to join us again next Wednesday as the Yankees host the Angels from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Coverage begins at 6:30 on Prime, with first pitch coming up just after 7 o'clock. For more coverage of tonight's game, tune into the Yes Network for the W.B. Mason postgame show. Once again, the final score from Kauffman Stadium, the New York Yankees 6, the Kansas City Royals 3. For David Cohn and Meredith Barakovitz, I'm Justin Shackle. Have a great night, everybody. So long from Kansas City.